They didn't run. They didn't leave a note. They simply vanished and were never seen again. These are America's coldest missing person cases. The United States, more than 500,000 people are reported missing every year. The vast majority are found quickly. They return home. They are located by police. They reappear within days. But a small percentage do not. These are the cases where people vanish without warning, without explanation, and without leaving behind any meaningful evidence. No signs of struggle, no goodbye messages, no financial activity, no confirmed sightings, just absence. What makes these disappearances particularly unsettling is how ordinary they begin. A person leaves home to run errands, goes for a short drive, walks out of work at the end of the day. Nothing appears unusual. No one senses danger. Cars are found parked properly. Wallets remain behind. Phones go silent. Bank accounts are untouched. Social media activity stops instantly. Law enforcement begins by examining the most common explanations: voluntary disappearance, accident, criminal involvement. But as days pass, those explanations weaken. There is no evidence of planning, no history of conflict, no trail to follow. Families describe these cases as existing in a permanent present tense. There's no moment of closure, no clear event to process. Life simply stops and never resumes. Cold cases are not dramatic crimes frozen in time. They are quiet, administrative, filed away when there is nothing left to pursue. Investigators do not stop caring. They stop having leads. These cases challenge a fundamental assumption of modern life, that in a country filled with cameras, records, and digital traces, people cannot simply disappear. Yet they do. And when they do, the absence itself becomes the mystery. In every disappearance, there is a final moment that can be confirmed. The last sighting, the last phone call, the last receipt, the last digital footprint. That moment becomes the anchor of the investigation. Often it is painfully unremarkable. A person is seen leaving a building, buying groceries, driving down a familiar road, speaking briefly with a coworker or family member. There is no visible distress, no sign of urgency. Surveillance footage frequently shows nothing unusual. The person walks calmly, moves normally, appears unaware that anything is about to change. And then the record ends. Investigators build timelines around that final moment. Who saw the person last? What direction they were traveling? What was nearby? Every minute is examined. But when there are no witnesses and no evidence, time becomes the enemy. The longer a person remains missing, the fewer answers remain available. In many cases, vehicles are later found abandoned, parked legally, undamaged, sometimes miles from the last known location. In other cases, no physical trace is ever found at all. Witnesses often remember nothing unusual. Busy streets, ordinary days. People come and go without noticing each other. Families replay the final moments endlessly. Conversations are analyzed. Small details are reconsidered. Words that once seemed insignificant take on enormous weight. The ordinariness of these final moments is what makes them so disturbing. People do not vanish in dramatic scenes. They vanish during everyday life. That final, confirmed moment becomes a dividing line between certainty and permanent uncertainty. Missing person investigations follow structured procedures: initial searches, interviews, alerts, coordination between agencies. But when there is no crime scene, no suspect, and no evidence, those procedures reach their limits quickly. Cold cases are not abandoned. They are stalled. Files remain open. Tips are logged. But without new information, progress becomes impossible. Leads are exhausted. Resources are redirected. Advances in technology occasionally reopen cases. DNA databases expand. Digital records improve. Old evidence is re-examined. Sometimes this leads to breakthroughs. More often, it does not. Time works against these investigations. Physical evidence degrades. Memories fade. Landscapes change. Witnesses move or pass away. Families often become the driving force behind continued attention. They organize searches, create online databases, pressure media outlets, advocate for renewed investigations. But persistence does not guarantee answers. Cold cases exist in a space where responsibility remains, but resolution does not. They are neither active nor closed. They simply remain. For investigators, these cases are reminders of the limits of law enforcement. Not every disappearance produces answers. Not every mystery yields to effort. And for families, the lack of resolution becomes a lifelong burden. There is no single profile for those who vanish without a trace. Men and women, young and old, urban and rural, professionals, students, parents. Some disappear during periods of personal transition. Others vanish during stable, routine phases of life. Many have no known history of mental health issues, financial distress, or relationship problems. Patterns exist, but they are broad. Some cases involve people traveling alone. Others occur close to home. Some happen in cities, others in small towns. What unites these disappearances is not who the individuals were, but how thoroughly they vanished. No digital activity, no financial movement, no verified sightings. In a society built on documentation, this level of absence is rare. It suggests moments where systems fail to capture what happens next. Disappearance does not always involve violence or planning. Sometimes it is sudden, silent, unobserved, and that is what makes these cases so difficult to understand. Cold cases do not end, they linger. For families, time does not heal uncertainty. It compounds it. Hope fades slowly, replaced by questions that never receive answers. For investigators, these cases remain unfinished chapters, files that cannot be closed, names that resurface periodically without resolution. Some disappearances will eventually be solved through chance discoveries, confessions, or technological advances. Others may never be resolved. These cases serve as a reminder that modern systems are not absolute. That even in a country saturated with surveillance and records, people can still vanish completely. No explanation, no conclusion, no ending. And for those left behind, the absence becomes permanent.